All right, let's play this clip. This is Dan Orlovsky on McAfee talking about the offensive line and the Lions, and then we'll give our thoughts on it. But here's that clip.
For Caleb on the turnover, potentially stopping unless they completely go to shite, which it doesn't look like. The Lions with Dan Campbell, we assume, are going to be good in this entirety. The Packers, we assume, are going to be
concerned.
What's that?
Lions are concerning. Their offensive line's not good enough right now. Not good enough.
No.
Yeah, no.
Going back to same old Lions?
Are you saying this year or just like in general, you don't know if they're going to be able to find it again? Is it because Ben Johnson was kind of maybe covering up for their offensive line, or is it Noah Ragnall is maybe the big problem with the Detroit Lions offensive line? Is it fixable, or is that just you got to deal with it this season type thing?
Yeah, I mean, the interior of their offensive line is a concern. It's not good enough. They will not win a Super Bowl with the interior of their offensive line playing this way.
Another year, man.
Ragnall's a concern. Yeah, Ragnall's starting to rear its ugly head here. This is what I would say is you have a quarterback that when you protect him, he could throw with anybody. But now the protection has fallen off. I would tell you, I have no idea what the numbers and statistics and analytics. It looks like a bottom 5, bottom 7 pass protecting offensive line.
What?
And no Laporta. Like when Jared got pressured, it was Laporta. Where's Laporta? Where's Laporta? No Laporta with a bad pass protecting offensive line. As much as it like kills me to say, I just don't see it for Detroit.
Dan.
No way you just hit the air horn.
Dan, dropping the mic.
How about this one? The Lions offensive line, man. It was fun while it lasted. Frank Ragnow, we miss you. We will welcome you back with open arms.
So sad, man. It really is, because everything Dan said is right. The offensive line is holding them back. It's a problem. It's a massive problem. I think if you could rank the problems, it's offensive line. And then I do think the loss of Ben Johnson hurt them this year and messing up on the John Morton hire. I think that's the other thing. And I think the offensive line doesn't allow them to do what they want to do offensively. And it's a problem. Like when you get in the playoffs, you're going to face good defensive lines.
Yeah.
That's how it goes, man. You're going to face good defensive lines. And if they can't protect Jared Goff, you are royally screwed. And he's absolutely right about the I think Sam Laporta is also like the third reason on there. I think what he said about Laporta is true. From his, he's a safety blanket. He assists in some blocking, which he's been a much improved blocker. He's been really good. I know it sucks, and it's something that people don't want to hear, but bad, man. You downgraded four out of the 5 spots on the O-line. I've interrupted the show to tell you about our friends over at Sleeper, and specifically Sleeper Picks, because if your state allows it, you should be utilizing it. It's a ton of fun. It's a real money product that connects friends over picks. It's very simple. You just choose 2 to 8 of your favorite players from pregame live or across different sports. You just hit the more or less than the predicted stats, just like I did for Lions Packers on Thanksgiving. You can check out my picks. Tell me how I did. Because on Sleeper, you can get up to 1,000x payout, share with your friends, and get rewarded together. Use that code CT Sports, and they'll take care of you. Shout out to Sleeper for sponsoring the show, as always. Now, let's get back to it. You downgraded.
Yeah. Which is like
a downgrade because he's hurt, but they've downgraded on 4 spots.
Most of these guys as well are hurt too. It's not like these guys are all healthy. I mean, you saw the practice report or the injury report today. I think you put it up earlier in the show. Almost every single, outside of Yodi, every single offensive lineman's on the practice or in injury report. And that's concerning, right? And I know it's like short week, guys need rest. But like, hey, this is gonna be a 3-game stretch in 11 days. 2 games in 5 days. Like, that's tough, man. And especially with the way that the offensive line played on Sunday, like, it was not pretty. And the fact, too, that your quarterback comes out after the game and is like, these guys are going through stuff, man. And I respect them and I love them for battling. So it's like, we know they're going through stuff. And just, I think for people to expect this offensive line that's battling injuries and are getting older, like Taylor Decker getting older, Graham getting older, just to expect them in 5 days to turn this thing around versus the Packers, versus that D line, like, that's tough. And I'll tell you what, too, Jeff. I thought about this today. I think you're going to find out these next 3 weeks. Is it 3 weeks? What's the schedule here? I just want to make sure I get the games
Packers,
right.
Dallas, Rams.
So, okay, that's what I thought it was. I thought it was Packers, Dallas, Rams. These next 3 weeks, you're going to find out a lot. And honestly, you're going to know whether or not this team can win a Super Bowl by the end of this 3-week stretch. You're going up against Micah Parsons and Rashawn Gary, Green Bay Packers defense. You're going up against a Dallas Cowboys defense who is one of the best interiors, if not the best interior defensive line in the entire NFL, with that kind of front. What's his name? I almost said Kenneth Grant. I don't know why I almost said Kenneth Grant.
The Cowboys?
Their interior. Who did they just trade for?
Quinnen Williams and Kenny Clark.
Quinnen Williams looked unbelievable last week. I think that might be the best interior defensive line in the NFL right now. And then the next week, you have one of the best defensive lines in the NFL with that Rams D line that they have re-bolstered up over the last 2 or 3 years through the draft. And I think right now you could argue that the Rams is right up there with the D line of the Houston Texans. They just have dudes, and that starts with Jared Verse. You're going up against Jared Verse and that Rams D line, the Packers D line with Micah Parsons, and that Quinnen Williams led Cowboys D line. You're going to know though, Jeff, in 3 weeks if there's any chance for this Lions team to win a Super Bowl. You will have your answers. You will. And if they could figure this thing out, and you know what, the O-line might not be great. If Dan can schematically figure out different ways to create with this offense, then they're going to be able to somehow put something together, to get this thing done in the playoffs. If they can't in the next 3 weeks, I don't see a world you win a Super Bowl with the offensive line that you currently have. Me and you have been saying this for 2 weeks now.
Yeah.
We've been saying this interior just is not good enough for 2 weeks. Since that Eagles game, we knew it instantly, and you could feel it. When you watch them, you could feel it, man. It's really disappointing. And what did I say 2 weeks ago after the Eagles game? Who did I blame for that? It's Brad Holmes. He did. I think he addressed it. I think he addressed it a year too late. He should have had a center in there ready 2 years ago, learning behind Frank or in some type of guard, learning from Frank. Never did that. Never had a backup for Kevin Zeitler. Never had a backup plan outside of Graham Glasgow for Jonah Jackson when Jonah Jackson left. He just never did. He never addressed it. Never did.
Yep, it was a great Band-Aid, but Kevin Zeitler was a Band-Aid. I mean, you knew he was 36.
He was a 1-year deal too. Like if you're going to sign a 1-year deal, at least get a rookie in there to help or learn.
Yeah, I agree with you. That was this is on Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell. I don't know if I don't think he makes those decisions, but whatever. Brad Holmes. It comes down to being prepared for what you have and knowing who you have at quarterback, which is Jared Goff, not mobile. You need to protect him. You got to get him a good offensive line, and Frank is at least close. Maybe they didn't know he'd retire, but he's close.
Dude, come on, man. Like, you have to have some sort of idea. We need to have someone in ready to go.
And I say it all the time. Besides Penei Sewell, the highest invested offensive lineman they drafted, the highest drafted offensive lineman was Giovanni Manu before Tate Ratledge, who was a project. That Tate Ratledge pick should have been a year earlier, like a second round guard. They should have did that a year earlier, or a center. They should have taken that guy a year earlier, let him develop, and then this year he would have been thrown right in there. Like Colby Sorsdahl in the 6th, Christian Mahogany in the 6th, which Christian Mahogany looked good in those 2 games. You still knew it was a gamble. You still knew he had to iron things out. He's not a complete product. I mean, he hasn't looked like a complete product this year. He's been up and down. So it's a massive issue. Jahmyr Gibbs is just so good. Hey, what's going on there? It's Jeff Iafrate. Appreciate you for finishing the video. You can check out one of the videos here suggested or show support by commenting, liking, and subscribing. And buy your merchandise, officialctsports.com.